Greetings everyone. Taking a break from the snow today to respond to an emergency service call for performance heating and air. We have a client that has a geothermal system, which basically uses the heat from the ground to either cool water or warm up water to heat a house. And when Curtis logged in, it looked like, or it was indicating there was a flow switch problem where there's no water flow. So we think there's an issue with the pump, and it's the pump that sends the hot water from the heat pump systems into the house, or the cool water into the house from the heat pumps. And so we think one of those pumps is not working. So Wyatt's picking up a pump. He's going to meet me at the job, and first we're going to make sure that it is the pump, and then if it is, we have one there, and we'll make the change. So we'll see you when I get there, and pretty cool little mechanical room to show you. I didn't think we were expecting any rain today, but boy, that is some evil looking clouds right there. It's almost like out of a movie. So the mechanical room is a little bit of a mess because we're in the process of repiping all these units. They used to stack, they had them originally, the installing contractor had them stacked on top of each other, two there and two there, and it just made it a nightmare to work on them. So we are separating them and placing them single so it's easier to work on. But some of the upgrades that we've done is the pump setup for the geothermal loop is there. That's all brand new. Here's some of the piping that has been done. All looks pretty nice. And then this was a brand new unit that we set in place a few weeks ago, and it just has to be tied in and wired up. Whomever put this system in originally just did not engineer it right, and the units were blowing compressors and having all kinds of problems. So we've had to come in and really repipe everything on this system, you know, except for the ground wells themselves. So another project that was actually my handiwork was installing these two Renai tankless water heaters. I did all the piping on that one, with the flues going out over there, gas line coming in over here. So yeah, so pretty cool system. Eventually we want to fix all of this spaghetti system from the original contractor, and if we can, see, rather than having the three-way diverting valves, because with that you can only run heat into the house or cooling into the house at any given time, and we'd like to get rid of those and have it as a two-pipe system, so they could actually have two of the units, two of the heat pump units would run hot water out to the house, and the other two units would run chilled water to the house. And basically we would control the temperatures of each water loop based on the outside temperature. So that's the future plans, but first let's see what's going on. That's the pump that is supposed to be not running. It definitely sounds like it's running. I gotta wait till Wyatt gets here so I can get the water pressure gauges, and we'll take a pressure reading across that. But it also looks like I might have an error on this unit here, and I gotta look up and see what it is. So this was the pump that we thought maybe was bad. When we got here, we checked it and there was a 6-pound differential, so it's pumping like it should. And originally they had this unit turned off, but and this one on, and this one's off on a pressure switch on the refrigeration side. So we're gonna have to dive into that some more and figure out why. And then so we tried to bring on the alternate unit, and we could hear the contactor snapping in, but we had 240 volts on one side, but we didn't have it on the other side. And so we popped off the cover where the contacts are, and all the guts fell out on the sheet metal below, and I'll show you a picture of that right now. So Wyatt changed out the contactor, and we got the new one in, and it's up and running. And I'll give you a little shot of the interface where we can see everything that's going on with this system. So here's the online interface that we can see, and so we can tell what everything's running. We can see that number 3 heat pump's working, the ground loop, which, so it's taking the basically it turns this air conditioner into a heater. So it takes the hot gas from the compressor, sends and heats the water and sends that to the house, or it sends it to this storage tank here. And the cold side refrigerant goes to the water that then goes to the ground, and so that cold water goes in the ground, it warms that water up a little bit, and then it comes back and it takes that warmer water, exchanges with the cold side of the compressor here, and again the hot side heats up the water that goes in the storage tank, and then the hot water from the storage tank goes into the house to air handlers to heat up the rooms. So everything looks pretty good. There's other than our tank's running a little cold right now because we have several zones open and the house is really cold. So there's a huge draw on the tank right now for one unit. The other units are currently down because that one that I showed you earlier that was disconnected, and so this side of the loop we can't run right now. If I can figure out real quick what the issue is on this unit, I will, but otherwise they've got some heat and we'll pack it up, and I'm gonna let Curtis do the rest if I can't quickly figure out what's wrong with that other unit. We've decided we're just gonna leave the one unit running. I'm gonna let Curtis figure out what's going on with the other one, because I'm also afraid right now with the way that the piping is from the original contractor. If I bring up both of these units and have them running, we may have a water flow problem. So we're just going to leave it at that. The house is heating up, so we're good. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.